Hello darlings, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to this video. If you are new here, my name is Bonagele. This channel is all about my lifestyle in my 50s, but I also do talk about personal or self-development, so that we can be our best selves. So if you like that, I hope you'll consider to subscribe. And yeah, happy 2025. I'm gonna say that because this is my first video in the year of 2025. So I hope you have eased well into the new year, and I hope God has been good to you. I am well and I have eased well into the year. In this video, I just want to talk about living intentionally or intentional living. All right, then let's get into the video. The beginning of everything new, be it a new week, a new month, and a new year in this instance, always brings about desire to want to be better. So since it's the beginning of the year, and I know that most people, go about to creating things and ways that they can apply in order to improve their lives in the new year. And people do these in different ways. People have resolutions, people have vision boards, people have annual or year plans. I often I've been hearing a lot people talking about resolutions as if there's something wrong with making resolutions. There's absolutely nothing wrong with either a resolution or a vision board or a year plan. All of those things literally serve a very, very similar purpose. The problem that maybe make people think coming up with resolutions is not helpful. It's the intentionality and the intention to implement or to make those things that you've put in your resolutions list to bring them to life. Why do we always want to do that at the beginning of the year? It's either you have hope about some of the things that you want to have, want to get, want to achieve in that new year. It's about that. And sometimes it's about you wanting to align your values as a human being. You want to align them. You want to align the things, that you do in your life. You want to align those things to your personal values. Because you might have these values, but how you live your life or some of the things that you do are not in alignment with the values that you have. It is also helpful to help you discover, what your purpose might be. It also helps you to, determine which path you want to carve for yourself in life. But it is also an opportunity to take a stock of your previous years even. It's like a self-reflection exercise. So yeah, those are some of the things why people do that, but the list is not limited to those things that I've mentioned. The problem is intention. It's all well and good to have this list, this vision board, this annual plan, and so on and so forth. But those things, that plan is not going to apply itself, to bring you the results. You have to put in the effort, and it starts with the intention. Intention is actually very closely linked with discipline, because you would need to have the intention to do these things coupled with discipline to be able to do that. I'm going to make an example with exercise, because that's one of the things I'm intentional about in 2025. I want to work on my physical health, but I've written it down in my annual plan, but it can just remain there if I don't do anything about. But I have a plan that effective February, I'm going to do to start working towards improving my physical health. And we know that several times there's things that we would either write down or talk about, but don't really do anything about, so it comes, then that's where intention kicks in, that you really, really need to internalize that and make tell yourself that you're going to be intentional about achieving those things, or intentional about actioning those things. One of the things that I was intentional about last year, when the year started, when 2024 started, I was very intentional about improving my mental health. So and how I did that, I did not miss therapy. All the things, the tools that I had been equipped with in therapy to apply in my life, I made sure that I applied those things. And every time I maybe missed a ball, dropped a ball, or missed a mark, I did not beat myself up about it. I will go back again and see what it is that I need to improve and implement, the things that I had been, because therapy is about that. It's about you being empowered. It's about you being given tools and skills to be able to manage your situation and your life in order to bring you back into good mental health. So that's what I did. At some point, I was taking medication when the year started, I was still taking medication. So I was very diligent as well with taking my medication. But over and above all of the things from therapy and medication and all of that, it's putting my trust in God that He is going to heal me, and strengthened my relationship with God. And I do believe that when you draw closer to God, God draws even closer to you, and I've experienced that, and that really helped me. And I sit here in the new year, and I can confidently say my mental health is in good form, and it's because of the intentionality behind it. So intention is the necessary commitment that you make in order for you to be able to achieve the desire. Example I did earlier, physical health improvement. So the commitment is, I'm going to take walks 3 times a week. I am going to do strength training twice a week. I'm going to eat healthy as much as possible. So those are some of the things. It's a commitment. You put the actions in place, but then commitment, you can't write it down. It's something you have to internalize. You have to make that agreement with yourself to say, I'm committing to do this. And I also read somewhere where they said intention is the why behind what's worth doing and what's not worth doing. There's a whole lot of other things that over the years I've been intentional about. That is my relationships, the people that matter to me. Social media and things like that can make us lose and miss out on one another, whereby we just rely on sending each other WhatsApps, and we think we are relating. That's not the case. Maintaining a good relationships require time. You need to be able to create time to spend with the people that matter to you. It's something that I've been cultivating over the last few years, and I'm happy with that every now and again I make time for people that matter to me, to meet up with them. It might seem like it's just a lunch, but it goes a long way, and it's also an investment into either your friendship or your relationship with your sibling or your relationship with your children. You investing time with them, because when you are seated with each other, you really get to dig deep and talk about the things that generally you would not talk about when you're just chatting on WhatsApp. And that's important, because somebody might be going through something and just want that comfortable and a safe space to talk about those things. You might also have things that you just want to share or bounce off somebody else. So it's very important to create and cultivate that culture. I'm so glad that I've been intentional about that. There are some of the things that I'm intentional about in the new year. Maybe just this thought just came to mind now, that my life started becoming very noisy. and a little bit too crowded for my liking. I generally don't do well in crowds, generally, and it's even worse when my own life is crowded, my own life is noisy. There was a time in my life where I just had a lot of people in my life. So it was just buzzing with people in and out, and I was just all over the show, and it looked exciting, but when I would come back home, I would just feel so worn out. And this persisted for a while, and I had to stop and reflect and think to myself, what is this? Why are you doing this? Because it's not, you're not deriving any joy from it. So why do you continue doing it? And that was a time where I had to confront my people pleasing issues at the time. To say, you've allowed all of these people to come into your life, and you don't necessarily enjoy having all of these people in your life, but you do so because you are not able to put boundaries and just be able to understand that you can communicate or you can relate with somebody else, but they don't have to be here. You can relate with somebody at arm's length and so forth. And really, I needed to do something to work on that, so that my life could be lighter, because I thrive when my life is simple. I thrive when my life is light. And over the years, people who are in my life have come to understand the person that I am. Like I said, I make time for my people, but my people also understand and know that there's time where I just need time for me. And that's important for me, because I'm able then to show up to them as my best self. And when I'm with them, then I am at my best, because I've given myself time to be me, to be in my quietness, to be in my calmness, and things like that. And it's also one of the reasons I enjoy simple living, because simplicity, man, I float when things are simple. And ever since I've started doing that, really things have become much lighter, much easier, and life is a little bit more enjoyable for me, and it doesn't mean I don't drop the ball, I don't miss the mark. Just like anything else, it happens. You will drop the ball every now and again, but because there's the intention, then you're able to quickly call yourself to order. And maybe just as I'm wrapping up the video, why living intentionally? Why is it important? What are the benefits? For me, the benefits have been living with clarity, because I would be so clear in my head to say, these are the things I want to do, these are the things I want to achieve, and this is how I'm going to achieve that. And I'm committed. That's where intentionality come in, as we said. I'm committing to do those things. So when I've made that commitment, I've made it clear in my mind and in my head that these are the things I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. It becomes blurry every now and again, but when there's that intention, it's a driving force towards you finding clarity in terms of how you are going to approach certain things. And I also mentioned it has really made me a little much happier, because I do know that there's just certain things that are not my portion. I'm not willing to sacrifice myself for certain things. There's just certain things I'm okay even if I don't do them. I'm okay even if I don't go to certain places, because I've seen that those things are not beneficial for me in any way. So I've made that commitment to say, no, I'm good, I'll pass, So it has really made me happier. Life is full of challenges, of course. It's got demands, it's got this, but really I'm happier. I really am. And I've been for a while. My challenges last year, the year before, that really created unhappiness in myself were mostly from a work environment I was in. But ever since I eliminated that, really I feel like I'm living a simple and happier life. And I love that for myself, and I enjoy that. Another benefit for living intentionally is that your decisions are generally thought out, because you're intentional about these things. You sit and think about it properly, and you're not haphazard in your decision making. So that's another thing that has been helpful for me, to say, this I'm committing to doing this. How am I going to do it? And I sit and I think about it. And when I start actioning that thing, it's really something that I would have said and I thought about it, and I'm confident in my decision. Even if something does not go right, it's okay, because I would have thought about it. It would just be a matter of, well, that decision was not the best for that thing. But I'm not going to blame that, oh, you see, so and so made me do this, because I would have thought about it. Then I can come back to myself to say, that decision was not a good one for us. Let's sit and think about a different one that we can apply. And another benefit, and I think this is a big one, it helps you to really focus and zone into the things that you've committed to do. You are razor sharp focused into achieving those things. Like I said, for me, it was my mental health over and above everything. And everything that I tried to make sure that it's something that is shifting the needle for me towards an improved mental health and total healing. And that's what I focused on. I cut out a lot of other things and I focused on that. So I just wanted to share that being it a new year and we have all of these plans, which is important. We have to plan for our lives. We have to have goals and things like that. But what will help us to be able to achieve those goals? What will help us to come to the end of 2025 and say, I've been able to do this and do that? It's the intention behind the things you want to do. And like I said earlier, intention is very, very closely linked with discipline. So if you apply those two principles to your goals and to your list and to your vision board, then you are likely to get to the end. Sorry, my storage was full, darlings, but all I just wanted to share was that let us be intentional about our goals this year, so that we can end off the year looking back and think and become proud of ourselves that we were intentional, even if some of the things you were not able to achieve, but you would look at it and know that you've given it your all, and look and then maybe think that it requires a different approach, it requires a different strategy, unlike something that you have not done, and you come end of the year and you feel so crappy about yourself that you didn't do it. And yeah, I wish you well in the work that you're going to put in towards the achievement of your annual plan, resolutions, or vision boards. All the best, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for choosing me, and thank you for your support. I truly appreciate and love you guys. Take care. Mwah.